Over the past 2 years, I analyzed over 100 real-world manipulators, con artists, cult leaders, narcissistic partners, corrupt politicians, corporate psychopaths. I studied their tactics, their patterns, their psychological playbooks, and I found something disturbing. Despite coming from completely different backgrounds, using different methods, targeting different victims, they all used the exact same core technique. One psychological trick that appeared in every single case. And the most disturbing part? You've probably fallen for it in the last 48 hours without even realizing it. By the end of this video, you'll not only know what this technique is, you'll be able to spot it instantly, shut it down, and make sure you're never a victim of it again. Before I reveal what this technique is, let me explain how I discovered it. I didn't set out to study manipulation. I fell into it after a personal experience that made me realize how blind I'd been to the psychological games happening all around me. So I went deep, really deep. I read every book on the subject. Robert Greene, Robert Cialdini, Kevin Mitnick. I studied real-world case studies, Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme, the NXIVM cult, interrogation transcripts from FBI cases, even recordings of abusive relationships analyzed by psychologists. I cataloged their tactics. I broke down their patterns. And I started to see something that none of the books explicitly spelled out. There was one foundational technique, a psychological mechanism that every single manipulator relied on. Whether they knew it consciously or not, they all exploited the same vulnerability in human psychology. And once I saw it, I couldn't unsee it. I started recognizing it everywhere. In sales pitches, in political speeches, in social media, in my own relationships. So today, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. The technique is called manufactured dependency. Now, I know what you're thinking. That sounds like a complex psychology term. It's not. In fact, it's disturbingly simple. And that's exactly why it works. Let me break down what it actually means, and more importantly, how it's being used on you right now. Manufactured dependency is the process of creating a problem or insecurity in someone's mind and then positioning yourself as the only solution. It's a two-step process. Step 1, create the need. Make the target believe they have a problem, a gap, a fear, or an inadequacy they didn't know existed. Step 2, become the solution. Position yourself as the only person, product, or ideology that can fix this newly discovered problem. Here's why this is so powerful. Humans are wired to solve problems. When you make someone aware of a problem, real or imagined, their brain immediately starts seeking a solution. And if you're standing right there offering that solution, they'll take it without questioning whether the problem was real in the first place. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine I said to you right now, most people have a subtle speech pattern that makes others subconsciously distrust them. Do you know if you have it? What just happened in your mind? You probably started wondering, do I have that pattern? Is that why some conversations feel off? I just created a micro-insecurity. And if I followed up with, I can teach you how to identify and fix it, you'd be interested, even though 30 seconds ago you didn't even know this problem existed. That's manufactured dependency in action. Now, let me show you how the 100 manipulators I studied used this exact technique. Example number 1, the cult leader. Keith Raniere, the leader of the NXIVM cult, didn't just recruit people by offering them something. He started by convincing them they had psychological blockages preventing them from reaching their potential, blockages they didn't know existed. He'd put people through intensive seminars where they'd be emotionally broken down, made to confront hidden traumas and self-sabotaging patterns. Most of these people came in successful and relatively well-adjusted. But after days of this treatment, they believed they were broken, that they needed fixing. And conveniently, Keith's advanced programs were the only way to fix these newly discovered problems. People paid tens of thousands of dollars and dedicated years of their lives to solve problems they didn't have before they met him. Manufactured dependency. Example number 2, the narcissistic partner. I analyzed dozens of testimonies from survivors of narcissistic relationships. The pattern was identical. In the beginning, the narcissist showers their target with affection, praise, and validation. This is called love bombing. The target feels amazing, like they've met their soulmate. Then, slowly, the narcissist starts pointing out small flaws. You're a bit too sensitive. You don't communicate well. You're too dependent on others' opinions. These criticisms are subtle at first, but over time, the target starts to internalize them. They start believing, maybe I am the problem. Maybe I do need to change. And who's there to help them change? The narcissist. The same person who created the insecurity now becomes the coach, the guide, the only one who truly understands them. The victim becomes dependent on the very person destroying their self-worth. Manufactured dependency. Example number 3, the everyday advertiser. You don't have to look at cults and abusers to see this. It's in every commercial you watch. Skincare ads don't just sell you a product. They first convince you that your skin has problems you didn't notice. Dull complexion, fine lines, uneven texture. Suddenly, you're looking in the mirror differently. Insurance companies don't just offer protection. They first make you terrified of unlikely disasters. What if your home floods? What if you get sued? Self-help gurus don't just offer advice. They first convince you that you're living below your potential, that you're stuck, that you're failing. Create the insecurity, offer the solution. Manufactured dependency. So now that you know what manufactured dependency is, how do you spot it in real time? Here are the 4 warning signs. Warning sign number 1, sudden problem discovery. If someone makes you suddenly aware of a problem you never thought about before, and they just happen to have the solution, pause. Ask yourself, did I actually have this problem before this conversation? Warning sign number 2, you're made to feel incomplete. Healthy relationships, products, and services add to your life. Manipulation makes you feel like you're missing something fundamental. If someone's solution requires you to believe you're broken first, red flag. Warning sign number 3, they're the only solution. Manipulators position themselves as unique, irreplaceable, the only ones who truly understand. If you hear phrases like, nobody else gets it like I do, or other methods don't work, be skeptical. Warning sign number 4, escalating dependency. The solution never quite works. There's always another level, another course, another session, another problem discovered. If the finish line keeps moving, you're being kept dependent intentionally. Here's how you break free from manufactured dependency. Or better yet, never fall for it in the first place. Defense number 1, trust your baseline. Before someone entered your life, how did you feel about yourself, about your abilities, your worth? That's your baseline. If someone's presence consistently makes you feel worse about your baseline, they're manufacturing dependency. Defense number 2, seek second opinions. Manipulators isolate you from other perspectives. Deliberately get outside input. Talk to people who knew you before. See other experts. Read alternative viewpoints. If the problem only exists in one person's narrative, it's manufactured. Defense number 3, test the absence. Take space from the person, product, or ideology. Do you feel relief, clarity, or do you feel anxiety and withdrawal? Healthy solutions make you stronger over time. Manufactured dependency makes you weaker without the source. Defense number 4, ask the profit question. Who benefits from you believing you have this problem? If the answer is the person telling me about the problem, you have your answer. Here's what really disturbs me about this technique. It works because it hijacks something beautiful about human nature, our desire to grow, to improve, to solve problems. There's nothing wrong with identifying real areas for growth. There's nothing wrong with seeking help. The difference is this. Real growth builds on your existing foundation. It says, "You're solid. Let's make you stronger." Manufactured dependency demolishes your foundation first. It says, "You're broken. Only I can rebuild you." One empowers, the other enslaves. And the scariest part? Sometimes we manufacture dependency on ourselves. We convince ourselves we're not enough, that we're missing something critical, that we need external validation to be complete. We become both the manipulator and the victim. So the real question isn't just who's trying to manipulate me. It's also, am I manipulating myself? Because once you see this pattern, you realize the antidote to manufactured dependency is radical self-acceptance. Not arrogance, not complacency, but a deep knowing that you are fundamentally whole, and everything else is just refinement. So let me leave you with this. You are not broken. You don't need fixing. You need awareness, tools, and strategies, and those should make you more independent, not less. If anyone, and I mean anyone, requires you to believe you're fundamentally flawed before they can help you, walk away. You just learned what 99% of people will never understand, that the most powerful manipulation isn't force, it's making someone believe they need you. Now, you'll never be that person again. If this video opened your eyes, do me a favor, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Because next week, I'm breaking down the dark psychology tactic used in almost every political campaign. And once you see it, you'll never watch the news the same way. Click here to watch that video when it drops. I'll see you there.